We are here today with Rick Stockburger, President and CEO of Brite. And actually, we have some breaking news this week. Tell us about the exciting announcement.
Yeah, so we're really excited to partner with the Youngstown Business Incubator on a contract with Wright State University, Wright State Research Institute, on a project for the Air Force Research Labs. There's so many acronyms in this, and it's very exciting to put forward a program called APEX. We're really focused on Appalachia in this project, which is really cool. So we're looking at a lot of the research universities in the region, as well as a lot of the small businesses that are interested in doing research in the federal grant space, so the SBIR and STTR grants. And we're helping those companies really be able to go through the process and make sure that they're filling out all the paperwork properly, they're getting the right contacts, and being able to take those technologies and really get them to the warfighter. That's something I'm extremely passionate about myself, as I served in the Army for 8 years. So these type of government and DoD contracts are extremely important to myself, and then also to show the value that organizations like Brite and YBI can have to the federal government, that we're really doing important work here in the Mahoning Valley to push that forward.
So bottom line, what does that mean to possibly local entrepreneurs?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can come to Brite or YBI, talk to our team. Chris Mather is really leading the Apex charge for us, and you can come to us, talk about the SBIR program, and we can help guide you through that process. So those companies now have a better resource to be able to get out and to really be competitive for federal funding. So those grants go from anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000 in phase 1 and phase 2.
For those who aren't familiar with what Brite is, explain what you do here.
Yeah, so we're kind of have 3 pillars of what we do. So first and foremost, we help early stage energy companies innovate and grow. So those are technology companies focused in the energy space, whether it be a battery company, a fuel cell company, somebody working in energy efficiency, or with IoT devices, which are the Internet of Things. We give them free services to really help them get aligned, to help them with their business planning and anything that they need as far as connections and growth. So that's kind of the free services that we offer, and we offer those statewide, actually. So it's pretty cool that, you know, sometimes we'll end up in Columbus and they'll be like, oh, where's the state of Ohio's only energy incubator? And we get to say it's right here in Warren, Ohio. So that's kind of number 1, what we do. Number 2 is we actually offer real estate. So we have co-working up front, which is a really great way to start your business. You don't have to be an energy company to co-work here. Anybody that is interested in having a professional work environment, maybe they want to get out of the coffee shop, but aren't quite ready to, you know, pay huge rents and take on their own paying for internet and all of that stuff in the business class. They can come here, they can grab a desk, they can co-work, they can utilize our conference room, so that way maybe when they're meeting with their first big customer, somebody comes in, greets them at the door, and they feel like they're in a professional work environment. So there's co-working up to being able to actually rent office space here. Currently, though, we have a major issue. All of our office spaces are filled.
That's a good problem, right?
Yeah, so it's been great to just be part of that growth. And, you know, our next iteration is right now we're in this lab. So our lab's kind of our third thing that we do, which is our innovation services. So we help with tech scouting, and then so tech scouting, to explain that quickly, is helping mid-market companies understand their technology needs, and then we are out there every single day across the country looking at these new technologies. So we can bring an innovative technology to a mid-market company or a utility that maybe they wouldn't have seen before, and that's a paid service that we do. And then in this lab, we have battery testing. So we can test EV batteries here, which is an important thing of the future of the Mahoning Valley, or the Voltage Valley as we like to call it. We also test IoT devices, and then we have grid connectivity, so we can do grid simulations on products, which is a really interesting and rad thing to do. So that's kind of our 3 things, is being able to offer those free services to those early stage energy companies, being able to offer tech scouting and testing and R&D here in our lab, and being able to offer real estate to those companies and those individuals that really are just getting started out, whether they're an energy company or not.
you're wearing a shirt that says Voltage Valley. And, you know, for so many years we've been, you know, called the Rust Belt, so many other things. Explain this Voltage Valley term, and is this something that you really see spreading?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always had a motto that I'd rather be lucky than good. And some of it is luck, and some of it is just really excellent planning. So when T-Bike got started, you know, it was this vision of the energy future that was very much so ahead of its time. And then we come up to 2019 and we have, you know, the GM plant shut down, and we're looking at ways that we can be future facing once again. And we just went through this rebrand, and suddenly we realized, okay, Lordstown Motors is here. They're coming and they're building a really great truck, and they're going to do it right here in the valley. But there's more than just having a plant that's here. Is the reasons that we can be this Voltage Valley, this place where electricity and things are happening in the technology space. So if you look down the road, Aptiv has a research and development center for wiring harnesses for automobiles. That's a really big deal and something that we don't always recognize. Tata Steel, or Thomas Steel Strip right down the road, makes all the zinc casings for batteries. We've already been excellent in the energy storage and transportation space for many years. I think it just took us a little bit of time to realize that we can look at this from a place of abundance, that we've got really talented young people here that can be part of this Voltage Valley initiative that can move us forward in a meaningful way, and we can talk about those future-facing technologies.
Are any of the technologies that are being developed here at Brite possibly going to be used for Lordstown Motors or any of the other companies associated with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, first and foremost, Lordstown Motors is a client company of ours. So we're very proud to be able to help them in many ways, whether it's providing some of the local connections that they need, and we work hand in hand with the Chamber of Commerce in a lot of places on that, or if it's the connections to the national battery market. So we're very deep in that space. So we're currently working on projects with and for Lordstown Motors right here as we speak. So that's a really cool aspect. But another thing that's really interesting is just we have all kinds of companies here that can be part of that supply chain. And then almost even more importantly, since Lordstown Motors has announced that they're growing their company right here in the Mahoning Valley, we have companies now from across the country, across the world, that are ringing our phone saying, hey, we want to be close to this. We have an opportunity. We have this sensor technology for autonomous vehicles that we would love to have a partnership with Lordstown Motors. You know, can we land at Brite? And the answer, first and foremost, is always, yes, you can. So we're really excited about that. Really excited about all the companies that we have here. Another company that just moved here that we're really excited about is a company called Exactor in Columbus. And Exactor, they're actually making really cool RF technology that goes on garbage trucks that looks at the entire grid in a city every day that a garbage truck's moving. So they can see what the power quality is in that city, which helps us extremely with economic development, having that third party outside of a utility be able to talk about that. So it's a really cool, innovative technology. And then we can also...
So the garbage truck, as it's doing its daily route, it's able to tell where the lines are down or where there's an issue with connections, and relay that information to the electric company, so to speak. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's just really cool, and also doing the mapping and all of that. So really interesting future technology that you know, isn't actually so much in the future, because they're going to be started pilot testing with the city of Akron here in the next month, and they're running their operations out of actually that office right over there. Another one, Hyperion Motors, I think we've heard about them, and Angelo Cafanteris that went to Warren Harding High School and has moved to Detroit and then in the Los Angeles region in Orange, and they're creating hydrogen fuel cell cars, which is also an electric car. And so they're on their way back here right now and looking for places to manufacture that car. So we're hoping that our companies can actually meaningfully work together because Lordstown Motors is moving so quickly that maybe there's an opportunity for Hyperion to also utilize part of that plant. So it's one of those things that if you look at the Voltage Valley and you look at this kind of supply chain initiative, that it's a movement of small movements. It's one small win after one small win. It's the really, really hard work that the Chamber of Commerce is doing every day, that working on locating these companies when they come in, or sending them to me if they're an energy company, and that we can use our expertise in giving them a good place that they need to land.
And so are a lot of these companies actually moving here, or they're locating a portion of their company here?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. So those two that I just talked about are locating a portion of their company here, which is just as exciting to us as the whole company, frankly. So it's new jobs, new tax base, so it's certainly a good thing. There's also companies like Entwine Connect that relocated their entire company here, and they're growing right now at an extremely rapid pace. So it's one of those things that I think the fruits of the labor of the board members that kicked this thing off nearly 10 years ago now are really coming to fruition. And that's something that we see in the energy space a lot, is these things take a little bit longer than, say, a software company that you can raise $1 million in a month and burn it in 6, and you know if you're going to have a company or not.
When you look at it, there was really some tremendous vision and foresight 10 years ago to have this on the ground and up and running.
Absolutely.
At this level at this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not easy.
Sure.
I was not here for it, but I've heard the war stories, and it wasn't an easy process for that board and the leadership that was here then. And so we're all benefiting. Our entire community is benefiting from that foresight and that hard work.
Thought Leaders is sponsored by Eastern Gateway Community College. With more than 35 programs, Eastern Gateway can help you with your career preparation and transfer plans.